You're looking like a pimp right now. Anyway, yeah, no, this is I basically only started my day like maybe like 3 hours ago. Got up a little late. This fucking camera bothering me. Yeah, I don't know. I'm in a better headspace today. I was in a really bad headspace yesterday. I made a video about it, but I didn't post it. I deleted it. I posted a clip of me and Clyde. That was part of the video. He helped my mood. He'll help me feel better. But yeah. So I'm about to go do my laundry now. My mom's, because my laundry machine's busted. But yeah. Drink coffee today. You know, what are you gonna do? But I kind of had this moment of realization about, ending old habits, and it's a thing I've constantly been talking about, but really like remembering the strength it takes to do that. Because a big part of what helped me with alcohol was just I was forced to be away from it. I had to be. So, kind of treating it the same way with like, the caffeine and like cut back on the cigar smoking and shit like that, and just kind of like taking it one step at a time. It's more important for me to quit the caffeine than the cigar smoking, honestly. And I don't think I'm ever gonna quit cigar smoking. It's always been a thing I've done on occasion. It's never really been a bad habit before, except for lately, I guess. Yeah, but no, it's just what do I call it? Dialing in. I'm locking in, whatever, on the things I might, not might. I know I need to actually do to, really progress forward, and really truly grasping what letting go is. And oh my god, it's scary as fuck, but something I gotta do. I actually don't even, these little filtered ones that are like wild cherry flavored, I don't even smoke these a lot of time. I just suck on them because they got a nice cherry like sweetness to it. I also just kept it in my mouth there for the intro of this video because I look like a fucking pimp with my my new robe and my necklace and my little ring, and I guess maybe hang on a second. I got this from my mom for Christmas. We had a late Christmas celebration. I think I mentioned it in these videos before because I was in rehab and everything. But yeah, definitely just an update that I'm doing better, and I'll continue to update throughout the day. Instead of just doing the, sit down and so, I might do that, wrap up the end of the day by having a little sit down and a talk with you. But yeah, not too much going on so far today, but like mood wise, I'm all right. I do have that issue with the caffeine right now of it making me a little tense. That's why I keep switching hands, because it's like it doesn't take long before I kind of like my endurance is fucking terrible right now. So getting back to shape is one of the like top priority things right now. Definitely, absolutely, and I feel more ready now. This week was necessary, but in ways I didn't think it would be. But that's just the story of everything with me lately. Watching with life in general, I feel like with me, or maybe with a lot of people. I don't know. Well, no, actually, I know with a lot of people. Everything happens for a reason. But very rarely is it the reason you think that it's going to be, or very rarely will anything ever happen in the way you're predicting. Maybe to an extent, but like in reality, it's always gonna look different. And that, everyone knows that it's always gonna look different than what you're planning, but like even different than that different, right? Because it's like, oh, you know, it's gonna be different, but then it's like different in a way that, you know, catches you off guard a little bit, you know. And it doesn't catch me off guard as much now, but it still does, because it's always still fascinating. I know it's gonna happen, but when it happens, it's like, oh, that was a direction I was not expecting that to go, but I'm glad it went that way. So, yeah. And the muscles being tense in my face because of all the caffeine consumption really bothers me. But like, I am going about this quitting through it's a different way, you know, because yes, that's a motivating factor. So my face isn't always so tense. That's the tensest part of my whole body and this whole, when I do too much caffeine. But it's just like really diving deep into beyond those things. And it's something I've been doing with alcohol for a while, but like this is the next step. And realizing it's almost like going through a second rehab in a way. So really looking at it that way and knowing that it's going to be this big thing. But you know, it's, you know, and I'm going to monitor it every day. You know, it's a real nasty habit, unfortunately. You know, I wasn't always this sensitive to caffeine, but now I am, and it's just this whole fucking thing. It's gross. But I also need to see a GI specialist. I really need to get my gut issues in order, because that's part of what this is. It's like caffeine isn't the main culprit. It's actually, I mean, I still have that caffeine sensitivity, but like it's enhanced by the fact that I have these digestion issues, and as a result of the digestion issues, things sit. So that means the caffeine sits longer than it should, and it really just kind of like fucks me up even further. So, you know, I don't know, it's just something I gotta figure out. But like, I don't know, I was looking back at the video I just recorded and noticed how tense my face looked, and it was just like, and obviously I look tired as fuck. I look all fucked up right now, but like, I promise it will get better. I promise myself it will get better. I'm being nicer to myself a little bit each day and really understanding what that looks like, and be more accepting of it, you know, because I still have that resistance of like the self-loathing, hating part. Is this whole thing, you know, this is gonna be a whole process. So yeah, I don't want to spend too much time doing this because we're watching I'm doing my laundry right now, but we're watching The Nice Guys upstairs. It's a pretty good movie. Yeah, it's good that I caught myself, because like I was just, I don't know, I was doing the thing, you know, where I was actually doing pretty good today, but there was that, you know, it was just the thing in my head just kind of clinging there. But instead of letting it be like I knew I should, because, you know, but like, you know, I'm a fucking cat, you know, I'm curious about like, what is it this time? Which is nothing, it never is anything, so I should have left it alone. I didn't, unfortunately, and now my mind's kind of, whew, but like, yeah, you know, it's just the classic, you know, you know, because my mind's gonna, like, you know, if I don't bring my self back down to the center that I was just at, you know, and not artificially. Sometimes I'll try to like artificially, like I'll retrace my steps and literally go back to the memory of it in my mind instead of actually just letting myself feel it. So I need to bring myself back there and realize, you know, feel truly that everything is good, because, you know, it's so easy right now to convince myself that something's wrong again. But no, there's nothing wrong. And you know, and I think doing these things helps so much, because I do these so frequently now that it's you know, I realize I notice how much I repeat myself. So as a result, I'm really being like, it's shoved in my face now. It's like, it's kind of a nothing problem, you know. It feels like a problem in the moment, but it's nothing. and then seeing that over and over again, because I always knew that's the case, but actually witnessing it, it's like, oh, you know, it's getting easier each time. Even though it doesn't go away, I trust myself more. I trust that I know what the fuck is going on here, even though I got that default negative mindset that's still gonna fight with me on it. It's just kind of like, all right, cool. Just kind of let it pass through. There's no, it's, because I freak out for a second, and then that's what gets me down further in that hole. So really taking a moment to be like, wait. So I want to continue that, make that a regular thing, have that be the new default. What I mean by the new default, just kind of like letting things pass, I guess, essentially. Because with me, no day is going to be 100% pleasant, and I notice that now. And that's it can be kind of a irritating and maybe in some cases a heartbreaking thing to think about, but knowing how I got to go about it is like, because I'll never be fine if everything is just perfectly fine. I'll never be fine because I know my brain's gonna be like, well, where's the struggle? So I gotta just roll with the punches, essentially. Yeah. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. See how that works for me. Yeah. So the night's winding down a bit. Feeling a lot better now. I think I stated it before. It's like, it goes in a different direction than you think it's going to, but then I become grateful for the direction things went in. So, yeah, my room is really fucking just trash right now. So, but yeah, I'm wearing my pimp outfit. Yeah, no, I feel a lot more like I'm surprised that I was able to I just ran with it. The feelings that I had or whatever, I just kind of like, just let it just do its thing. And so, I mean, the night's not over yet, but like, when I'm home, it's a lot easier to kind of, I don't know. It's also easy for me to be complacent at home, so I got to be careful with that too. So it's a never-ending battle, but yeah. So I need to do more things. It's been nice the past few months or so, basically just kind of chilling. I mean, not necessarily the groups and all that therapy was very mentally and emotionally taxing, but very much the past few months has just been me just, at least physically, I'm not going out very many places, all that kind of stuff, but I think it's time to like include more of that in, because I will feel better. Even if I don't feel better in the moment, I will feel better afterwards for doing that. And that's kind of what today was. I was kind of freaking out about being out of the house, but being back here, it's like, it has sunk in. It's very good for me. I think there's a cat in here right now. Callie. Anyway, yeah, about to have some dinner. Gonna maybe bust out a stogie. I don't know. A little undecided on that. Well, I'm leaning towards it just because me and my brother were talking about it a lot. There's, never mind. There is something over in the corner there I wanted to show off, but then I realized I can't do that on YouTube. Anyway, yeah. No, it's not a whole lot of hardship right now. So it's not as much for me to report on, it's like, I don't know. It's funny how that works with people. It's like when we're feeling good, it's like there's not a lot to talk about, but then when things are really bothering us, it's like, oh man, and that's where art comes from. Art is meant to disturb the comfortable and then comfort the disturbed. So that kind of goes with that. It's art wouldn't exist without that struggle. We do all these things because of our struggle, and we almost kind of exist for our struggle in a way. But it's best to partially eliminate the struggle, yes, day by day, but also like there are struggles we're always going to need. So, I was keeping that in mind, and that did kind of help me through the day. It's like, it's not going anywhere, but that doesn't have to be a bad thing. So, yeah. Well, munching on chicken now. I was thinking about how I always felt like, I don't know, unsatisfied with my day, no matter what direction it took. Or if I relaxed a lot, I felt like I didn't work enough. If I worked a lot on stuff, I feel like I didn't do enough. So it's just getting okay with how my day went and just go to bed peacefully. As peacefully as I can. I realize like that should be the goal right there. Have the end of the day, I don't know, just feel satisfied. I mean, it's never gonna be perfect, but yeah. So I kind of just, even if I had to do some like real mental like tricks to be able to do that with myself, even if I have to lie to myself. I mean, I'm not lying to myself, but like, kind of just, I don't know. I think trying to explain it. I don't know. Yeah, no, it's kind of something I haven't been thinking about enough. It's a weird, it's specific thing of just like have the end of the day. It's just because I feel that's the issue. It's like I've made these leaps and bounds in progress, but as a result, I feel restless. Every time I make a decent, like a big leap forward in things, like a real push, it pushes back. I don't know. It's just, and that's when I notice it the most. It's like I've been very slacking on my workouts, but every time I get back to it, instead of having good sleep that night, I actually sleep like shit. And it makes me feel like shit because I know the best way to recover from a workout is actually getting proper sleep. But every single time I wasn't getting any, because it's like, okay, you did that, now what? Versus if I didn't do anything, sure, I would feel like shit, but it was weirdly easier that way. And then when I start doing stuff again, no matter what it is, not just working out, it's like now, I think that's been my fear of why I haven't been doing much, is because I know once I start doing it, that feeling, there's not going to be a satisfying fucking, like, it's always going to be like, okay, I did a lot here, but where could I do more? So it's fighting that part of me. Actually letting myself be satisfied with the work I did in a day. So, there's that, to put a lot of effort into things I do, but let that effort just speak for itself and stop pushing it beyond that point just because when I'm having a good streak, I tend to want to keep that going instead of, knowing when to pull out, pull out. But while the getting's good, just fucking, you're pushing it, man. You gotta, get the fuck out of there, So like, it's like gambling at a casino. You're doing real good. You don't want to keep pushing your luck. It's like you're really doing good here. You might want to like pick a spot. And I also notice I do it actually when playing video games. That's a very good way to put it for my gamer peeps out there. And my brother understands this. Is like you're having a bunch of you want to end on a good match, right? And there's all kinds of ways to go. You maybe have a bunch of shitty matches, have a shit night, but let's say you have a bunch of good matches in a row. You're really hitting it, and he's like, "Oh, I'm about to log off soon." But then you start having shitty matches, and now you want redemption for those shitty matches, but then it doesn't fucking happen. So eventually, you just get tired, and at a certain point, you either just stop or you get to a point where you have a match that's like slightly better than those other shit ones, and then you stop, but then you feel like shit, and you're like, "Fucking," So. It's I don't really know where I was going with that metaphor. Just kind of like that's something that popped in my head. Is something I've definitely done. I think that's the thing I've struggled with my whole life is knowing when to stop. Like if I'm really rolling with a conversation with somebody, I don't know when to end it, and it always ends awkwardly because I don't know like when to shut the fuck up or whatever, or if I'm just out having a good time, everyone else wants to leave, and I'm like, I'm gonna keep this going. And then the other way around, if I'm not doing anything, I want to just keep that going. Like I go in these extreme directions, which can actually be good to an extent, but it's a double-edged sword. It really is, truly. It's equally good as it is bad for me. So that's interesting. Hi, Clyde. Yeah. He a good boy. He's my boy. Yeah. So I'm planning on tonight being a night I can just go to bed and feel good about how the day went. Even if the day wasn't what I was picturing. Because I get hung up on that too. Like I had this image, this idea, and I always set myself up for failure and disappointment because the idea is way too fucking out there every fucking time instead of just being real with shit. Too much in my head in the clouds, I don't know. Be okay with just being what I am right now. I can keep progressing forward and putting effort into things, but stop being so unsatisfied with how you are right now. Because it starts with how you are now. If you're not okay with where you are right now, you're not going to feel much better once you progress. You're still going to be in that state of beating the fuck out of yourself. So, if you're okay with how you are now, you can progress and feel really good every time you progress versus like still being beat up and still not being satisfied. There's the other end, and this goes for like body positivity shit with that movement. It's like, be okay with how you are, but then don't do anything to change yourself because, you're perfect how you are, even though you're unhealthy. Not that mindset. I definitely progress towards being healthier, and I definitely want to do that, but I still need to learn to be okay with how I am now. Even if I know I can do better, still just find that baseline. Yeah. And then that goes into the, feeling good at the end of the day. As good as I can. Yeah. Which I'm feeling it now. Hopefully I don't ruin it. But I can't think like that. I think like that I'm going to be like scared now to, oh my God, how am I going to ruin this night? Whatever. Let it roll off you. Comes in waves. Yeah. It's gone pretty good today. So, that's good. There's still part of me clinging on to the whatever, but like, I don't know. I gotta remember all the ways I managed to deal with all this before because I've done it before. Very successfully. So, I can do it again. It's just, nothing has changed. Well, things haven't changed in the way I think they have. I still am that person. I still am that guy. I can get shit done. I can push through. It's just like, there is always some self-destructive side to it. I'm really productive in one area, but one area fails, and then flip-flops, and then morphs, and all this kind of stuff. So it's being the best version of myself I can be in all aspects. But in doing that, don't focus on that so much. Don't pressure yourself every time you whatever to be like the biggest badass at it. It's just kind of like do your best, even if your best isn't necessarily to 100% of your ability on like a really good day. That day you're not having a good day or whatever, or it's just not going as well. I don't know. It's just like if you do your best with what you have, basically, no matter what your best might look like that day, even if there are better bests on different days, as long as it's for sure the best you can do, yeah, everything will be fine. And that's something you remember. I'm a fucking human being. It's something I forget. I don't know. It's just fucking, I don't know. I mean, I know, but I don't know. The more you know, and the more the more you don't know. Yeah. It's yeah. Yeah, I thought I would have more to wrap up on, but it's just kind of been flowing pretty good. Like I feel like I do this video here because I think I'm gonna fall apart any second, but that it just doesn't happen, and because it doesn't happen, I gotta sit here and be like, why is it not happening? And then I fall apart as a result of like doing that. So it's just like, one day at a time. I'll figure it out. I'll finger it out. Yeah. Yeah. I will say I was very overwhelmed there with just sensory overload downstairs because I was watching Supernatural with the surround sound on. Apparently they're gonna take that off Netflix at some point, so I'm just rewatching it. Only the first 5 seasons because after that, fuck that. It doesn't like just get bad all of a sudden, but it's just like for me, the first 5 seasons, the Kripke seasons, those are canon. Everything else is just fan fiction. I mean, essentially it is. I mean, the creator of the show left after season 5, so yeah. It legit is fan fiction after that point. Anyway, I'm getting off track. So there's that, and the dryer's going, and I was in the stage of just like, it's too much going on right now. Yeah, I get that sometimes, and I forget I need to give myself breaks from that, because I know I do have, I am technically on the spectrum, so it's like sensory overload's a very real thing for me. I mean, it is for everybody to varying degrees, but yeah, it's definitely something I need to keep in mind. And then routine and all this kind of stuff. That too, keep in mind my limitations, and as long as I exist within the proper parameters that I need to make for myself, all of a sudden everything becomes possible because now I have this. Maybe it's a false sense of security, but it is some sort of sense of just, it's just routine. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of what this is. Hi, Callie. About like rehab and stuff like that is new routines, new habits, all that kind of shit. I'm still recovering from the over-caffeinated shit, so I apologize if I sound kind of like, I don't know, winded, or I don't know. Yeah. My little baby cigar. I mean, it's not baby. It's still like, it is a cigar. It's just a little smaller. I forgot that they sell these in fucking Kroger. I was like, oh shit, that's bothering me. I forgot that they sell these shits in fucking Kroger. Like the actual, like, full-on big ones, like over in the corner by the registers. I was like, oh shit, forgot about that. So I'll have to keep that in mind instead of having to go to a fucking cigar shop, because I went to a cigar shop and they're like, oh, they only have these, but they actually have my big boys at Kroger, of all places. So when I have money again, I'll go there. But yeah, that's my old pedal. I need to fuck around with that. Yeah, there's some sounds I can. We don't need to get on the whole music thing right now. There's a lot I need to do with that. I actually need to talk to my brother about some lyrics I wrote. I want to get his thoughts on something. I think they're pretty cool. They're like usual when I write. It's vague enough that it like you can create your own like interpretation in your mind, but it still is specific enough to have its own meaning. It's not every song's exactly the same. It's like there still is. It can't be so vague that any meaning can be brought to it, but vague enough that there can be varying meanings that people can turn it into. No shade at songs that do get super specific. In fact, like I like rap music. They're super specific, like all the time. They have to be, especially if you use that many words. It's very hard to be vague when your song's just filled with words. It's very hard to keep it vague. So yeah, no, but like my writing style has always been the James Hetfield, like Kurt Cobain style, where I write it so that people can just have their own fucking interpretation of it. I mean, that's at least James's goal. Kurt was kind of just, he just kind of wrote just random bullshit. He really did. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, he's such a genius. He's like, he really just kind of, yeah. I mean, he was very talented and gifted, but like, you know, they're acting like he's God. It's like, I mean, people also have this dumb thought about Tool. It's like, Tool fans are so insufferable. It's like, really any fanboy is insufferable, right? Because they overvalue the person, even though the person definitely has their value. Absolutely, like, but they just like Frusciante fanboys is so annoying. I know someone who is like saying, is like, oh, you listen to Frusciante and shit like that. Is like telling my older brother Kevin, who plays lead guitar, is like, you can't do something like that. I'm like, that sounds exactly like something Kevin would do. It's not that fucking complicated. You're acting like he's like the most gifted. I mean, he is pretty gifted. He's you know, trick finger. He does have some pretty good shit, but like a lot of the shit he writes is pretty simple, and that's actually a good point there. That, yeah, it's good to know complicated things, but in the end, the shit that really works is the really simple shit, you know. So like the Tim Henson bullshit that gets not annoying, but it's just kind of like samey sounding. Like after a while, the whole overly complicated shit that he does is still pretty cool, and they, you know, he's got some good songs. It's just like, but like, this is not my favorite, you know. So that's why I never feel bad when I watch him. When people are like, oh man, I should just give up guitar. It's like, whatever. You know, I'm more focused on songwriting anyway, rather than my actual technical skill. If that makes sense. I mean, that's not me making excuses for why I'm not. I would like to be more technically skilled. I do want to learn more, definitely. But like, yeah, who gives a fuck? Well, dumbasses give a fuck, but like, we don't need to talk about that. Sorry. I closed the door. Callie's trying to get out, so yeah, I'm gonna smoke this and pass the fuck out. So it's like, yeah, let go of shit. Absolutely. But physical things do really affect mental state as much as it's like mind over matter. It really, there are some things that matter you need to change to make the mind better, and drinking too much caffeine today did not help me at all. So it's a little hard for me to just completely relax. Trust me, after I'm done with this and I go to bed, I'm gonna sink into bed and be like, oh yes, because I don't have that tension anymore. It's been hitting me all day because of the caffeine and the tightness in my back and the terrible posture I have and all that kind of shit. Yeah. This